First, we'll cover the information so you can take some notes, and then we'll look at the principles in action. Let's start with the key light. The key light is going to be your main source of light. It's going to shed the most light on your subject, and it's going to sit between 15 to 45 degrees at an angle off of your camera. In this case, my key light is here. We'll look at a better example later on. Next is going to be your fill light. The fill light is going to fill in the shadows, but not remove them. It's going to sit at the same degree as your key light on the opposite side of the camera. So as my key light is here, my fill light is over here. Lastly is the backlight. The backlight isn't necessary, but it does give your video a better quality. What the backlight does is it helps separate your subject from the background. If you don't have a backlight, it takes away the depth of what's in the frame. In this case, my backlight is actually the shades here. You can see as I close them, there's less light coming in behind me, and I don't really have that outline. Again, we'll look at a better example in just a bit. Now let's look at lighting intensity. If you don't have a dimmable light, the easiest way to do that is to adjust the distance to the subject. Now, real briefly, if you cut the distance from the light to the subject in half, the intensity of the light will double. All right? Again, we're going to look at that here in just a second. Lastly is going to be the angle. Now, a natural angle for light is going to be in a downward direction, so you want that light to be nice and high. The reason for this is what we are naturally used to because the sun is in the sky and it aims down on us. So if you watch scary movies and you notice the light's coming up from underneath and it looks kind of scary, it's not necessarily a scary feel, it's an uncomfortable feel. Right? It's because light doesn't normally or naturally occur coming from the ground and shining up on us. So that's why they use that effect. So for a regular 3-point lighting, we want for that light to be at a downward angle. The other reason is we also don't want for shadows to be falling straight behind us. In this case, you can see a little bit of a shadow behind me, but it's mostly at a downward angle. If the lights were to be level with me, all of my shadows and my movements would be casting shadows directly behind me, and we want to remove as much of that as possible. Now that we've covered all the basic principles, let's go ahead and take a look at this in action.